Welcome. My name's Rashad Johnson, and this is my documentary testimony series, episode 7. I'm going to give a recap from episode 6. Where I left off was I met a woman named Juanita. Okay. We go on a date. God speaks to me, tells me that this is my wife. I leave from the table, I go in the room, in the bathroom, I cry because I knew whatever I wanted with Jasmine was no more. And I have to be obedient and follow what God wants me to do. And you got to remember, I just gave my life to God in November, but I didn't know how to be a Christian. Okay. And this is our first date. And so I leave and then I come back. She tells me that God spoke to her, told her that I'm good and to trust me. But she also got, um, she was also, um, what's the word I'm looking for? She also got clarity about this situation because God talked to her a month earlier and told her, be prepared. I'm going to send your husband in a dream. And in the dream, she asks, how would I know that this is your husband? And he told her, he's going to tell you that you can't have sex. And that, well, the first thing he's going to tell you is he is your husband. The second thing he's going to tell you is he can't have sex. Now, and then he told her that she's going to be an example for all her friends, right? So we go on this date. I work at the post office at the time, and I get a call when I woke up to go meet her, and the supervisor's telling me, the manager's telling me, hey, you needed to come in to work today. I lied and I told her I'm in San Diego because I wanted to buy time, but I wanted to do what God wanted me to do, which was meet this woman, because he made it clear to me that morning that I need to meet this woman. I didn't know why. I didn't know, for what reason, but I said, let me go meet this woman. So we go on this wonderful date. We come back. Um, when we go on this date, my job calls again. They call like 3 times that day. My job calls again, tells me that I'm gonna get an AWOL, right? And me as a PSE, it's not good because I could lose my job. But God told me I got this. So I end up giving Juanita a key to my place, right? Because I'm looking at Juanita as my wife. God didn't say fill her out, let me know if you like her, and you know, um, let me know, and I'll make it work. You know, nah, God said that this is my wife. But at that table, He gave Juanita confirmation. Said He is good. When I sat back down, God is speaking to me, telling me what He expects and telling me why He chose us. And He said, you will be an inspiration to others. They will see the love within y'all. And He's telling us we can't have sex before we get married, and we have to do it His way. He also tells us it was other couples spread out the world that was going through the same thing that we was going through. He says some will make it and some will not make it. So with that said, we continue on with us as fiance. She was my fiance, and I was her fiance. And I remember talking to her at the table, and I'm telling her, anybody that we're talking to, we got to cut ties with them. And this is on the first date. This is before we went and we left that table. God gave us the rules, and then we said to ourselves, we have to cut anybody off. So the only person that I had to cut off was Jasmine. But Jasmine already just told me that, and then you know what? I think I got the dates mixed up. Um, I don't give my life. No. Dates is right. Dates is right. So I tell Juanita, whoever we're talking to, we need to take them out of our life. So I some girls I just deleted and end up changing my number. If I was talking to them, some girls I did call. The ones I deleted was somebody that I probably got their phone number but never really called them. The ones that I did have, that I did meet, I called them and I told them, what was, what was what. And then when it came to Jasmine, I told Juanita, I can't call Jasmine right now because we just broke up. And if I call her now, she's going to say, why are you calling me? We just broke up. Why are you asking me if we're, that we can't be together? Right? Don't make sense. I said, she will call. She will come around. She is going to call. And when she does call, I will let her know that we can no longer continue to be friends and talk. Right? And whoever she was talking to, she was supposed to leave alone. So we continue with our date. We have a wonderful date. My job calls me again, tells me about the AWOL. God tells me, don't worry, I got this. He said it to me just like that. And I trusted. I said, okay, if God said everything's cool, everything's cool. Now, when I spoke to my supervisor, I spoke to the head supervisor now. Because I got called 3 times. I got called that morning by the manager, that afternoon by the manager, and then that last call was by my head supervisor. And what she said was, when you come into work tomorrow, I want to speak to you. And that's when I hung up and God spoke to me and told me he got this, right? So I end up giving at the end of the day, I end up giving her a key to my place, right? I have trust because God chose us. I trusted her that, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to come back and all my stuff going to be in my house, right? So I go to work. I do my whole shift, me and my crew. We do our whole shift, and the new shift comes in, so we're overlapping each other. And she's giving a stand up, and she tells everybody, the shift that I'm on, y'all free to go. Rashad, stay here. She gives the stand up to the new shift, and then she pulls me to the side, and she tells me, I'm not going to give you an AWOL. I'm not going to write you up. I'm going to give you a verbal. When I heard that, see, a verbal is just a verbal. It don't go on my permanent record. It don't go on nothing. It's just a verbal. When I heard that, it grew my faith because God kept telling me, he got this. Anybody else would have been fired. Anybody else would have been walked out, badge taken. But God said, I got this. Because I was being obedient that morning, and I put my trust in him, and I gave her a key to my house. Like, God seen all this obedience coming from me. I kept my job. But look, check this out. I kept my job. I told Juanita. She was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, for real. A week later, we talking, we seeing each other now. You know, I'm coming over to her house. I'm meeting her children. She had 4 beautiful girls. 4 beautiful girls. I had my 3 boys. The funny thing about it, they was like a ladder. It was one age, then the next one, and 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 then the next one. And if you looked at our kids, you would think that they was all by us, right? So I could, I meet her children. She ain't met mine yet because I haven't had a chance to get them for the whole for my weekend, and it's Christmas. So Christmas, I didn't get. I was not gonna get my kids until after Christmas break this year. So it's Christmas, and she invites me over. So I come over, and man, I'm thinking back on it, man. When I met her kids was really happy to meet me. Their energy towards me was wonderful. I love those girls. Those those are my only girls at the time. You know, um, I done been with other females that like Jasmine had a girl, and I loved her in my own special way. And um, but these girls, man, they was godly. They loved God. They loved the church. Um, they was happy. They was happy for their mother. They was so happy for her. And this is, just meeting me for the first time. So I ended up spending Christmas with her. And I believe maybe I had to work. I probably had to work also on Christmas Day. But after my shift, I came over to her house. Now, the next day, the 26th of December, guess what happens at my job? I go from a PSE to a full-time federal employee for the post office. That ain't nothing but God, people. My faith is growing little by little. My faith is growing because I'm the same person that God told me, hey, leave Amazon, go to the post office. And I leave your full-time employer, Amazon, and go work seasonal at the post office. And I did that, and I was let go. Because we was told we was going to get let go, but it's a possibility that they'll bring us back. It took 4 months for the post office to call me back. And during this 4 months, I was humble and I was working little temp jobs, but I never cursed God. I never was mad at God. I just kept telling myself, God got something better for me. If he told me to leave Amazon and go to the post office, it's a reason why he told me to go to the post office. Now, what y'all got to understand, I just did not I became a full-time employee within 7 months working at the post office. Before me, people was PSEs for 5 years, working 6 to 10 hours, six days a week, 10 to 12 hour days. I was a full-time employee after 7 months, and the people before me was they didn't. It took them almost 4 to 5 years to become regulars, and at that time, that's how long it normally took. But God blessed me with this career. So everything is lining up. I have a career. I have a wife. Everything that my heart desired, God was giving me. He was giving me it. So, you know, we're just dating. We're dating. We're talking. We're enjoying each other's time. Um, she's trusting me with her children, you know, and it's around the new year. We spend New Year's Eve together. We had it at my house. She decorated, at my apartment. Um, her kids was there, and we celebrated New Year's Eve. Around the 4th, my son, my youngest son, he played on the same baseball team as Jasmine's son. And it was a banquet. So I knew I was going to see Jasmine, right? I take her 3 daughters, the 3 oldest ones, and we have Riley to go to this banquet. Get the trophies, eat pizza, blah, blah, blah. It's funny because when I got to the entrance of the door, Jasmine got at the entrance at the same time. Now, I haven't talked to her, texted her, seen her since she told me to move on, right? And that's when, you know, I didn't tell the girls who this woman was. It was none of their business. But Jasmine seen me with these girls, and when we did talk afterwards, she thought that was one of my girlfriends. And her oldest daughter at the time was 16, about to be 17, I believe. Yeah, 16, about to be 17. But she was tall. So, because Juanita was tall. So she thought that was one of my girlfriends and her kids, which is funny. You know, we ate. She sat in one area, I sat in the other area. We ate and everything. Come to find out, and I just now recently seen this. Jasmine wrote me a letter and she posted it on Facebook. And it was January 4th. So I'm assuming after um I'm assuming after that night. And we spoke outside for a brief second, but we didn't really get into details. Right? We spoke for a brief second. And I'm gonna read you this letter that she wrote. Okay? Now, I'm gonna pause this video because I gotta pull it up on my laptop and I'm gonna read it. So give me a second. Okay, so I'm gonna read you this letter. It was dated Monday, January 4th, 2016 at 9:03 p.m. She sent me this and she typed this out on her Facebook. It's crazy because I was gonna post it, but it shows her name. I know I could have crossed it out, but it's funny how it shows her name, but it don't show her face on her display at the time. She was not using a face as her avatar. So she wrote this and then she sent it to my email. I just seen this past weekend. No, the weekend before. The week, no, this past weekend I just seen this, right? No, the weekend before, last weekend I seen this for the first time. I never seen it. I never read it. And I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. And this is what she said. Well, Rashad, we loved, we cared, we made plans, we were good. We fell out, we made up. We tried, we made memories, we had disagreements, You hurt me. I hurt you. You tried to make it right. I lost touch. I ignored you. I didn't respect you. I pushed you out my circle. I lost trust in you. You loved me. You were in love with me. I saw your efforts but remained silent. I was prideful. I didn't defend you. I made you jealous. Hurt your feelings. You put me out. You put out an SOS and I refused. I'm sorry. You put out an SOS and I returned it to sender. I checked out. You held on. I wouldn't commit and you held on tight. I pushed you away. You cried out. I yelled, shut up. You said I was your future. I told you to move on. You held on. I checked out. Rashad, it's your time to be happy fully. You submitting to God and letting Him open your eyes to what you need, Him, what you need, and it says Him in parentheses, is just the beginning to your reign of blessings that you deserve. It's your time. You're so full of passion and what's this? Deliverance. You love. You are caring. You try. You work hard at what you want. You are a persistent father. You are sweet, thoughtful, smart. You love hard. You tried with my kids. I could go on, but one would think if he's that great, why aren't you together? Well, the answer is simply yet complicated. I gave up. I didn't want to try. I had no desires to immediately forgive nor cater to to the things you needed. I simply gave up and checked out. It hurts you, and I'm sorry. You needed me. I didn't care. I wouldn't acknowledge your attempts to make any attempt to make you feel like you mattered. I hit a tragic moment in my life, and we were together, yet chose to be alone. We had zero communication. Hold on one second. Let me go to the next. We had zero communication. Well, I had, in parentheses, I stopped listening and shut you out when you needed me most. I'm sorry. As you begin your journey in happiness and love, I wish you nothing but the best. We both learned very valuable lessons. As a man, you have grown from the first time I met you. You have hit many marks and continue to reach because that's what always been in you, and that's in parentheses. When I first met you, you were amazing, and that man still stands. Because I did truly love you, it's only right for me finally not to be selfish towards you and give you the closure I know you needed. I can truly say at this point, it's me, not you. Thank you for teaching me to say, I'm sorry. I just read this last week. When I read it, I cried. I cried because it was a reason why God wanted me to see this at this time. I never seen that from her. Um, Never seen it. I never seen it from her. I did send her a reply. And I sent her Romans 8, 26 through 30. And I told her it was always planned. I said to her, hello, Jasmine. This was sent on the 19th of this year, 2023, at 8:59 a.m. Hello, Jasmine. I was going through my emails when I came across this one today. I never knew you sent this email to me until now. Reading this letter you sent me gave me something I've been looking for from you since we stopped talking, an apology. This letter tells me I am not a monster and I was just misunderstood as a man. Yes, I loved you deeply, but I had to, hold on, I'm sorry. Yes, I loved you deeply, but I had to because it was always part of God's plan. Thank you, Jasmine. And it was part of God's plan. And what was God's plan? For me to love someone so much and didn't get what I wanted and was confused and was hurt. It made me cry out to God and give my life over to God so he could do what he needs to do for me to do my purpose, which is bring y'all these videos, expose the enemy, and show you how to walk in the word and grow in the word. This is my testimony. And I'm not even done. I got more to talk about. It's getting to the 30-minute mark. There's more to talk about concerning Juanita and what took place before I met my wife now, my present wife, Coretta. And y'all gonna see what love looks like, what faith look like, what growth look like, what obedience looks like in the next couple videos. Thank you. I love y'all, and may God be with you. Pray for me, and I'm out.